Continuing on with the action and looking now from the AFC North into the NFC West and talking about the running back position with Kyren Williams and Blake Corum, now the new duo in Los Angeles. I really was a fan of what the Rams did this offseason. I really love not only their draft, but almost restocking their entire team with some massive additions like Darius Williams. You get Tre'Davious White in there. The health is a major concern, but if he is healthy, he is still in a good age where he can contribute right away. And also, this team bringing in Puka Nacua last year off of his breakout year. Cooper Kupp is coming back, probably as healthy as he has been in the last 2 years. There's a lot of excitement around this team. I think there is something to be excited about with the Los Angeles Rams. And the running back position is something that I wanted to touch on because I wanted to bring up this point of how much better can the Rams be with these two guys in the backfield. Because if you just look at Kyren Williams just last year, completely out of left field, right? Completely out of nowhere. I didn't know who he was. I had no idea who he was last year. I knew it was Darrell Henderson in the backfield. I guess Kyren Williams was also back there, drafted as a 5th-round pick in a couple years ago. In 2023, just burst onto the scenes with 1,144 rushing yards, 12 touchdowns in 12 games, and also contributed somewhat to the passing game with 32 receptions and 206 passing yards. He is the first 1,000-yard rusher since Todd Gurley did it for the Rams in 2018. 6 years since Todd Gurley did it with the Rams, and since the Rams have had that level of production from that position. Crazy what happened with Todd Gurley. But anyway, talking about the Rams and how they can continue this on and even just potentially get better with Blake Corum coming in, because initially you're a little bit confused, right? Why would you bring in a running back to have sort of any sort of contribution with how Kyren Williams played? Why would you draft another running back expecting him to have some sort of role right away with this team? They already have a number one running back established coming off of a great year. This didn't make too much sense, I could imagine, at the beginning of it, because Corum, with how successful he was at Michigan, some believe that he could have gone somewhere else and had a bigger role, potentially as a number one running back elsewhere. But I'm super excited for this, and I think Kyren, in this statement I'm about to read, sort of shares that same sentiment of why I think this could be so huge for the Los Angeles Rams. When Kyren Williams made this statement talking about the potential partnership between him and Blake Corum, he said, "I'm super excited that we went to go draft Blake Corum. He's somebody that can run the ball very well, and hopefully it allows me to get to the slot or run routes out of the backfield to showcase my skills." Talking about Blake Corum, like I mentioned, he could have been a number one running back, I truly believe, somewhere else if another team drafted him, because you look at his time in Michigan, 3 years, over 3,660 yards, 56 touchdowns, and coming off of a national championship last year to cap off a very successful college career. But back on that statement that Kyren Williams made, that last part of it when he says, "It allows me to get to the slot or run routes out of the backfield or showcase my skills." I think that's a very interesting point that he makes, because not a lot of players, I think, are, what's the word I'm looking for, are, made aware of the point that this offense, sometimes in their offense, they're just limited to their position. They don't really think too much outside the box with this, because you look at Puka Nacua, you look at Cooper Kupp, two great options, two number one options arguably for the Rams, but outside of that, you don't really have too much to really contribute to the passing game, where I think you need some more options now that Matthew Stafford's getting a little bit older. He can't buy too much time back there on his own. He needs a lot of options available to him, whether that be through scheme, through just talent all over the field. I think you need more of that in this offense, where I was struggling to find a player to really step up outside of Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. They have Tyler Higbee, but he's coming off of a very serious knee injury. Tutu Atwell as well is another receiver that they have. Demarcus Robinson had an okay year last year, but again, it doesn't really move the needle too much, where you have some of these great offenses like the Packers, the Lions in their running game, the 49ers with, if they bring Brandon Ayuk back, they have Ayuk, Ricky Pearsall, Juwan Jennings, Debo, Kittle, Christian McCaffrey. They don't really stack up to the quantity of those options that other teams have. And that was a major concern for me. But now with Kyren Williams opening up this possibility of him moving more short towards the passing game, I think it makes it super fascinating to what not only they can do, but what Sean McVay and that creative offensive mind that he that got him this job. What are their expectations now with having Kyren Williams line up in the backfield, motion out wide, or start in the slot, motion back in, with Blake Corum also out there, able to get you all the yards that you need on that set of down. It makes it a lot more free-flowing, a lot more exciting, and very dangerous for opposing defenses if they have to worry about all these motions, knowing where everybody is at a set time and place. I love the possibilities. The possibilities are almost endless with this team now, and they were already good last year, like I mentioned, breaking out with Kyren Williams, the breakout of Puka Nacua. I expect both of them to get better with experience, and now you've opened up this whole new realm of possibilities with Kyren, because I really think the way I'm talking about him, you could probably understand that I hold him in a very high regard. I think he played very well, and he surprised me. And now having two of these guys with Blake Corum coming in, basically the same exact player, the same exact mold of a player at running back. Both of them are about 5'8", 5'9", 205 pounds. Very similar, so with that being the case, succeeding with a smaller back, and also Blake Corum coming from an NFL level program in Michigan with Jim Harbaugh making the coach, makes me super confident that he could hit the ground running right away, get carries early on in his rookie year, and they could experiment more so with Kyren Williams, get all the bumps and all the hiccups out of the way early on, stick with it through the entire year, and then by the time November, December comes along and you're in that playoff race, you're a lot more comfortable with this. Blake Corum has more experience on him, carrying the rock the entire season, and this offense can grow to another level where I think having Kyren Williams and opening up this possibility could make them reach the divisional round at least, because last year they went out in the wild card round, and they were good. They were a solid team there towards the end, but that offensive limitation, I think, kind of hindered them in that game against the Lions, none other than the Lions, and how their offense was very dominant in that game. I think the Rams slowed up a little. They couldn't just keep up. So now with this, it gives them a better chance. And also, in a time now where the NFC is so wide open with the numerous good teams, there's not a lot of clear favorites. So when you get into these close games down the wire or down to the wire, it's almost like a crapshoot. The Packers were very close to beating the San Francisco 49ers last year on the road, and also the Lions were completely dominating the 49ers in that NFC Championship game. That's how close and how, just crazy unpredictable this conference is, and it's great for the entertainment side of things as a fan. I love how unpredictable it is right now, almost like the West in the NBA right now. There's not a lot of clear favorites. Everybody's very close in terms of talent and how good they are. I think the Rams have done a good job now of adding to that talent to try and keep up with all the offensive prowess that surrounds them, not only in the entire conference, but just in their division with the Seahawks and their offense with DK, Jackson Smith and Jigba. The 49ers, don't have to say too much about them. Marvin Harrison Jr. coming over now to the Cardinals. The league is getting more talented and finding new ways to get creative with it. I think the Rams are doing a good job of it, and I think they're going to surprise a lot of people this year. They're going to push the 49ers probably the most out of anybody in that division. I'm not crazy. I'm not going to say they're going to win that division, but you never know. It could get close, and it could get very interesting towards the end, but I'm very high on them. Let me know what you guys think about this new duo in terms of talent and how much better it can make the Rams in the comment section. But speaking of the Rams, and I mentioned the Cardinals, we're going to talk about this last segment after this next break on Marvin Harrison Jr., off of the field this time, signing a deal with New Balance, and we're going to reveal these new cleats, the first ever New Balance football cleats that they are releasing. Marvin Harrison Jr. will be the first player to wear them when they debut in their first game against the Buffalo Bills on September the 8th. We're going to get into some more details on that. But we'll be right back after this last break on the show.